What's up? Hello, everybody. It is the Dennis and Andy show. I'm not talking low energy. I can't do that. That's just not me.
He is not a low talker.
I've got caffeine for blood going through my veins. It is Wednesday, 3 p.m., the Dennis and Andy show. We are here for your entertainment. Dennis has finally got around to wearing the coolest shirt ever. Finally got his wife to cut the sleeves off.
Sleeveless Adriana.
I don't agree with the no sleeves, but at least he's finally wearing the Adriana shirt. I'm representing with the old DNA shirt. So there you go, guys. We have a guest today. It's going to be a fun show. As always, it's hump day, and we are the highlight of your week. Look at that. Out of the gate, $10 from Paul Taylor. Hail, Dennis and Andy. I got my shirt last night. Thanks, guys. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it. I know other people had because they mentioned it, and there you go. So wonderful. That's great news. Thank you very much. And enjoy. Please do not cut the sleeves off. Be civil, unlike the heathen to the left of me.
I think maybe we need to have Luke back on because he was going to cut sleeves off his as well.
That's barbaric. That is just barbaric. Rich says, Paul throwing money around like it's the champagne room. You know it, Rich. You know it. Rich, we got to have you back on. I haven't got to talk to you and make fun of you in a long time. All right, well, let's get to it. We have a special guest today, and it is, I'm going to not even pronounce his last name because I'm sure I'll screw it up. But you know what? I'm going to go for it, and he can tell me. Eric Ninaltowski is joining the show. How bad did I mess it up?
Not too bad. It's Eric Ninaltowski.
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 That's what I was going to go with. And Dennis looked at me like, don't be retarded. That's not how you say it. And I was like, all right. See? Always throw me under the bus.
Yep. And then I back up over you, do a brake stance on your face, and then continue driving on. So I'm good with that.
Even knows what a brake stance is. Hold on. Another super chat real quick. Randy Howe, $2. I want my arms around Adriana. Exactly. That's why you keep the sleeves on. You know, Eric, it's funny when you popped on in the back room, I go, oh, that thumbnail image we made, that's probably an older image that you pulled of Eric because he is one of me follically challenged.
Is that the name of the cult you go with? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're the handsome ones.
That's right. So it's good to meet you. I know we've chatted through X, Twitter, or whatever, but never in person. So
great to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll give you a little backstory on kind of what made me reach out and stuff. Is my daughter was watching this show, and I want to make sure I get the name of it right. Now, my daughter, just to say, she'll be 22 in May, but she likes to go back and rewatch stuff from her childhood. So she was watching a show called Mighty Med.
Yeah.
And I saw the intro to it. And I remember watching it when it first came out when she was like 10. But, it was 12 years ago. So she's watching it last week. And I'm looking at the intro and I'm like, oh, sweet comic book art. I love stuff like that. So then I'm like, I wonder who did it. So I Googled artist, Mighty Med, whatever. And, you came up, your site and all that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm awesome. Like, I believe we follow each other. And there you go.
Man, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that show was like lost to the annals of time and, nobody knows about it. And, so it's totally funny.
Yeah. It's, it was Disney, right?
Yep, Disney XD.
It's gotta be because she was streaming it on. She streamed it on. Dude, she blew through it went for what 2 seasons, 3 seasons, something like that. I think.
Okay, I don't even know. That was like the only thing I did for it, and I was like, maybe they'll call me back and I could do more, but nope, it's just one of those things.
I think it says 2013 to 15, so I'm guessing two seasons, and she burned through them. So it was a fun show.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it was super cool to work on that, and it was kind of through a third party, and they had crazy schedules, and it was like I could never work fast enough for them, and they're holding me up because they're not sending me shots of the show that I need to work in there. it was cool though. It was a good, introduction to doing that type of work. So it was fun.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. All right. Well, with first time guests, we always like to do kind of an interview type thing, get an origin story. Dennis usually handles that part. So if you want to kick it off there, big guy.
Yeah, so it literally is your origin. What got you into the industry? How did you get in? But first, as it led up to it, obviously you must have liked comic books at some point. So what was the first comic book that you either bought yourself or received from somebody, and that's what hooked you into comics? And do you still have it?
Great question. I think I do still have it. Man, so it was an issue of Wolverine. And
okay.
I don't remember. So I know the picture in my head because it was a Mark Texiera cover, and it's like Wolverine standing there with his, his head in his hand, and then Jean Grey and I think Professor X are in the background. Just an awesome. Everything is white except the characters.
Dude, I know that cover. As soon as you said standing with his head in his hand, yeah. I was like, I know that cover exactly. So cool.
Yeah, I don't remember the number. I want to say 71, something like that. Could be later, but that one in particular, and that one always stood out to me. Yeah, how do you forget that cover? So I was still in elementary school when I got that. I was born in 82. So like right around the 90s, probably like 91, 92 is when I got heavy into comics. And so, as you guys know, like Image was just kicking off. And so once I started seeing those titles on the shelf, it's like that was like all I bought. So obviously my style is heavily influenced by those guys, and I have that kind of West Coast style. So that was my early introduction to comics. And then from there, it was like, I want to draw, and I just drew all the time. And eventually, people in my life, my grandparents and, parents were like, oh, you're pretty good and blah, blah, blah. And then, eventually art teachers started seeing I had some talent. They're like, this is really good. You should pursue this. So I went to art college, did a 2-year thing in Delaware College of Art and Design, got my 2-year degree. And then oddly enough, I went to Boston to a Bible college because I was going to go for like youth ministry, and only ended up doing a year worth of that. I met my wife there, and then that was that. So then she's from California. So I moved to California, which is great because California is like a great hub for comics, and San Diego Comic-Con, and Image was here. And I was like, this is it, man. This is my time, but I actually, my first published work was with, do you guys remember Alias Comics?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So where we moved to in La Mesa, right down the street is where Alias was like starting their little, company. And it was Lamppost Publications. And, I met Mike Miller there. He kind of took me under his wing and mentored me and tried to get all that West Coast style out of me and make me more like him. It kind of worked for a little bit because the first work I did was called Hand of the Morning Star. It was kind of like a manga America style.
Dude, I have. So another like little crossover type thing beyond the Mighty Med. When I was looking at your website, I think I saw it on there. You mentioned that, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm looking at them right now. I've got 5 volumes. There it is.
Is that it?
That's it.
What number is that?
65. I knew roughly when it was. So
I love that cover. Side tangent, since you brought that cover up, Dennis. I love that cover. I'm a huge Mark Texiera fan, but man, his Wolverine is just so not like the proportions Wolverine is supposed to. Like heroes are the quote unquote 8 head high, 9 head high figures, right?
Yeah.
But Wolverine is supposed to be like 5'4", 5'5". So technically you can't do that because he'd have a really tiny head for a body that,
Right.
But Mark's like, I don't care. He's going to be 6'8". Uh-oh. What did you do? There we go. Sorry about that. He clicked the wrong thing. So
we call that the ejection button.
That's right. So I always love Texas stuff, but back to the Morning Star, I'm looking at them. I've got 1 through 5.
No way.
And I bought them originally because that was what, like 15 years ago? How long ago was that? Do you recall?
Yeah. 2007, I think, is when they first came out. So,
okay. So yeah, almost 20 years ago. And I remember seeing them and thinking, oh, this stuff looks pretty cool. And this was, when Mike did what, 1 and 2?
1 and 2, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you did 3, 4, 5.
I did 3 through 8. There's 8 volumes total.
Oh, there's 8? I got to get 3 more of them. I will get them because I was like, this is cool. It's like Christian-based superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
I like the art. I like the fact that it was digest manga, size and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I remember, getting 3, 4, and 5. I mean, I probably bought them all at once, or I take it back. I probably bought 1 and 2, or just 1 just to read it, make sure I like it.
That's how small they are, just so people know.
Yeah, I'll full screen you. There you go. Hold them up again.
Yeah. So this is 5 and 6.
There's okay.
2 more. So
well, I'm going to have to go check out old Amazon afterwards because I thought they were cool. And then after, Mike left and I got 3 and then 4 and 5 and saw your art. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. This still works,
Yeah.
So that's cool. Was that a fun gig to do?
Yeah. I mean, so looking at Mike's work and how, he's got the like great bare bones, like the good structure and stuff. So I really tried to just kind of like work on my structure, work on the, like the bare bones of everything. And that really helped me as an artist because it's like then I kind of evolved and I could kind of get so by the time you get to the end of Handing the Morning Star, I'm going like all out with the shading and all that stuff, which Mike left out, so it's kind of funny. You kind of see like the evolution, and by the time you get to the end, it's a little more me. But it was so I had about 1,000 pages under my belt after doing that series. So
sure,
that's like a great way to start, yeah. So I really got to work on the fundamentals, if you will. And so now it's like, now I can do the West Coast style over top of like good structure and, decent anatomy and all that stuff.
Is that company gone that did those?
So Lamppost Publications is still around. They still do publishing, but they're not doing comics. They kind of formed Alias with Mike. And then,
okay.
Zondervan, they're a big publisher. They're still around. But I don't think they're doing any more of the kind of like manga type deal anymore.
I'm just surprised that they wouldn't try, because it's one of those things where, like you said, there's 8 volumes. Let's say the last one came out in 2010. I mean, I don't know how often they release the volume, but you can correct me, but let's just say it was 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm just surprised because they own the work that they wouldn't say, why don't we try putting it out as one big fat volume, like an omnibus?
Interesting. You should say that. So I think if you go to lamppostpublications.com, they do have it now. So Brett bought the rights back from Zondervan. So he did that. So he did 2 hardcovers, 2 volumes of hardcovers. And then I think he did 1 huge volume, but he had to like take some stuff out because of page count or something he said, but you can get them either way. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to definitely have to check that out then, because like I said, I'd like to get the rest of them, whether it's individual 6 through 8, or if I could get a couple collections and I could just donate, for little ones. But, well, that's very cool. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I like about your work is you have that, you don't shy away from that 90s type style. And it's like you said, that's, you were in elementary school, middle school in the 90s, and, it shows. And I think that's cool,
Yeah, it spoke to me. And so it was like, that's what I like. If you take out all that stuff out of it, it's just kind of like not as fun for me. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah.
Are you traditional with your work, or do you do digital? What do you do?
I'm traditional. So pencil and ink on paper, and then, scan it in, color it.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's
nice. What was the school you went to in Delaware then? You said
so it's called the Delaware College of Art and Design.
Oh, okay.
And it was cool because it was like, they had animation, they had photography, they had fine art, they had a little bit of everything. So the 2 years that I went, it was kind of like they gave you all that. And, so you kind of learned a little bit of the animation side. You got to do photography. You went into the dark room and got to develop your own photos and stuff. So it got a really well-rounded education, but I always knew I wanted to do comics. And, at the time, gosh, that was like 2000. So unfortunately, I wasn't savvy enough on the computer yet, and I didn't know that, up in North Jersey was Kubert's School of Cartooning.
Right.
So I always kind of like laugh that had I just gone north, I would have been like in my home state. I would have got like the comic book education.
Okay, so I was going to ask. So you're from Jersey then, not Delaware?
Correct. I'm from New Jersey. Yeah.
So wait, now so you're from Jersey. How far away are you from Dover?
Man, 2 hours, Dover, Delaware.
Okay, so you're not that far away from Dover.
Yeah.
Now, did you know about the Kubert School, or you didn't know about it when you applied to the other place?
Correct. I didn't know about it. I remember specifically going to like the college orientation type thing where all the people are there and the different colleges. And yeah, I was just like, I want to go to art school, and nobody told me about it. And, I don't remember seeing the ads in the comics either.
I was going to ask because I know, so I went to the Kubert School. Now I'm just a tad bit older than you. I'm able to say I was born in the 60s. It was right at the tail end, but still.
They were still using chalk and slate back then.
Yeah, you're my age, dumbass.
You're older.
So in the 80s, when I was in elementary school and middle school, I remember seeing the ad in the comics, and that's where I learned about the Kubert School, and then contacted them, and back when everything was through the mail, got the mail sent, the brochure sent to me through snail mail, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look at comics from the 90s. I know they never advertised. It was always Marvel and DC. So I'd have to look. I remember seeing ads in comics again in the 2000s.
Okay.
Like right in the early 2000s, because I remember my name, they actually used my name along others in the list.
Yeah.
In the 90s, though, I don't know if they advertised. No, I think they did. I don't know. I'm just really amazed.
Yeah.
Like, it all worked out. So,
yeah,
you're probably like us where you kind of think, everything happens for a reason. And usually it might not seem like it at the time, but it's, as time passes, you can always look back and go, it happened for a reason. And if this didn't happen, everything would have changed. So, definitely not going, damn it, I should have went there.
Right.
But wow, knowing that place is only 2.
I know. Yep. It's so crazy.
Yeah, because I grew up in Maryland. So it was only 4 hours for me to drive up there.
Yeah. So I wonder if, because, about the time I got heavy into comics, it was kind of like all Image. And so, and I feel like they were more in Marvel comics, maybe.
Yeah, they didn't advertise an Image. It was Marvel and DC.
So that's probably why. But yeah. But like you said, it's like,
yeah,
it is what it is
for a reason.
Yep. It's all good.
What was your favorite Image book?
Man, probably Wildcats, just because I enjoyed Jim Lee's art a little bit more than the others. I felt like it was just a little more polished. And then Scott Williams, I mean, he's awesome. So he can make anybody look awesome. So yeah, so probably Wildcats. And then, all the other guys, Silvestri, Liefeld, Dale Keown, though, man, I'm still looking at his work, and it's like, it's so good. Man, yeah, he was probably like almost better than Jim Lee. I feel like just the stuff he was pumping out, and like, it's amazing. Anyway.
No, that's all good, man. I love that stuff. Genuine Comics. Are you all self-taught? He went to art school in Delaware for 2 years.
So the cool thing about that was, and I at the Kubert School, did you guys do like drawing from life, like have like a, like models come in and draw?
Yeah, we had, the Kubert School was 3 years, and I always say it was like high school because it was, roughly say 8 o'clock to like 2:30 every day, with like middle of the day there was like an hour for lunch. So we had a class in the morning for like 2 hours and 45 minutes, lunch, and then another class for 2:45, and that was 5 days a week. So we had 10 classes a week, and through the 3 years one, some of the classes were consistent. You had them all 3 years, and one of them was figure drawing. So you had a figure drawing class level 1, 2, and 3. But then, for instance, in first year, we had a class on lettering, hand lettering. Now it's computer lettering, but back then it was hand lettering. But that was literally just for the first year students. Once, when you got the second year, they put in a new class since that one was taken out.
Gotcha.
But the figure drawing that was taught at the Kubert School was basically taught for comic books. And what I mean by that is a lot of figure drawing at normal colleges are basically just teaching you to draw what you see.
Yeah.
And at the Kubert School, they were teaching the classic stuff of like figures or 8 heads high. They would teach structure. So then when the model came in, it didn't matter what the model looked like. You were never drawing what you saw. You were drawing the idealized form of an 8 head high figure, because the point was to be able to draw figures out of your head.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So we were doing that, but like you said, in the reverse, where it's like we're just drawing what we see. And so, we get all types and body types, and everybody come in and it's like, you draw that. And which I think was really good though, too, because it really trains your eye. So like if you're drawing, like, we'd go out in the lobby and have to draw like a scene of the lobby. And it's like, so you're like measuring things with your eyeball, and you're training your eye to see spaces, you know what I mean? And kind of really get, what you're seeing down. So in that regard, I think it was helpful, because now it's like I can see things and I spot something that's like off, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that proportion's off, or this is, you know what I mean? It's just trains you to see things spatially. So it was helpful.
It's good. I think it's actually good to have a mix of both. And before I went to the Kubert School, when I was in high school, my parents took me to I found it, but they drove me there and stuff, because I was like 15, to a life model, drawing class like once a week for like 2 months or something. And it was at a local college, but that was it. It was draw what you see. It wasn't even, I don't even know if there was a teacher there. It might have just been like an open drawing thing. So you pay your fee, the model gets up, you can draw on newsprint, whatever you want, whatever medium you want to use. But you're drawing what you see. And I take it back. There was a teacher, because he was talking about like blind contour drawing and stuff like that. And I think it's good to have both, because like you said, if you're drawing from a model and you're just drawing what you see, it really helps if you're going for more of a, I guess, kind of a realistic type style in a way, because of how the outlines actually are compared to just looking in a book and going, oh, this is what they're telling me. Yeah, she's nude, Mom, but it's for the art. That was it. They had to sign a waiver, because I was 15.
Yeah.
So my parents had to sign saying, no, we're allowing him to go, because it was nude models and I was 15. So, yeah.
But those guys never minded.
That's right.
Yeah. I remember there was a few people that wore like that full bodysuit, which I didn't mind, because some of the people that walked in there were like, I don't want to.
Did they really? Dude. They wore like a full body spandex, basically.
Yeah.
Now, what year was this roughly?
So it was 2000 to 2002.
That's got to be just honestly, I've never heard of that in my entire life.
Really? Yeah.
I haven't. The last time I went to a life drawing thing like that was probably 5 or 6 years ago here in town where I live. There's a place that does it like once a month or something. And you just sign up, you pay like $20, and part of the money goes to the space. And then the other part of the money goes towards the model that they hire to come in. But I've never had a life model that wasn't just like, yeah, I'm getting hired to be a nude life model, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Wow. I mean, if Dennis does it, he wears a full bodysuit, but they pay him to wear it. They're like, no, don't get naked. Put this on.
I call that a bonus.
Yeah.
Crazy. So.
All right. Let's look at this, because I do want to talk to you about Shadow Century 2, or 3 with the sign up page, but I mean also So your current campaign, so your first two campaigns were Shadow Sentry, is that right?
Correct. Yeah, first three. So
Three. Okay.
I did Shadow Sentry 1, 2, then I pivoted and I did Shadow Sentry Origins. So I
Oh,
can kind
okay.
of slow it down, give you a little more backstory on some of the characters. And then the next one will be number 3 in the regular series.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now before you get into the third one, you decided I'm going to put out basically an art book set.
That's correct. Yep. So this is kind of like a passion project. So after the whole, Hand of the Morning Star thing, around 2014, I got into doing conventions. So at that point, I started working on my, having pinups and stuff to sell prints, at the conventions. And so, yeah, from almost, 10 years now, I've been building up a catalog of prints and stuff. So fully colored, images. And I was like, you know what? I should do a collection, put these all in a nice book, do a hardcover. And so that's what this is. I just want to do a nice collection of all those. I probably have over 200 prints. So, just a cool book with all the stuff I've been working on for the past 10 years. So,
Cool.
Yep.
If you want, take us through the campaign and explain it to the people and stuff. And let's see what you got going on.
Sales pitch time.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, if you guys like art, this is anything and everything. Mostly I love 80s cartoons, so there's a lot of Thundercats, Ninja Turtles in there, and then
nice.
all the Marvel and DC characters, but I'll also throw in some Shadow Sentry as well. But yeah, so 100 pages. It's a hardcover, and went a little bit bigger on the sizing, so you can see the images a little bit better, but it's 7.5 by 11.5.
Okay.
And yeah, and then also I wanted to do some other cooler, I don't know, treats for the kids, but even adults could like these. But a coloring book and also an inking book, which I thought would be a fun idea. So I print off pages for my kids all the time, so they could ink and kind of doodle over some pre-drawn stuff. So I was like, why not do this with my art? And so I'm going to print it out in blue line, and then you open the book and you can ink over my lines.
Cool.
Yeah. So those are two, companions that'll come with it. And yeah, but basically I'm just trying to, pay for the shipping, pay for the printing, and then get this out to everybody. So it's a fixed goal of 5,000. So it's probably going to be, I'll need about 100 backers, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, I tend to do things that I would like. So
Sure.
I love art books. I love, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I want to do this and, just make it really nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when you for the one that's going to be printed with blue for inking and stuff, I'm guessing you're using a matte type paper for it, like, because I think that's a great idea, but you just got to kind of. My worry would be is getting the right type of paper for the printer, from the printer.
So I'm doing uncoated paper on both of them, so that way there's no sheen, no nothing. It's just regular uncoated paper like you would get at the store. So I'm probably going to work with a local printer so I can kind of gauge what it feels like, because you can tell when it's not going to take the ink and all that, and but like a coloring book obviously is going to take colored pencil, marker. So that's kind of what I'm going to go with. But but that's definitely for people that don't know.
The inking one, are you printing on both sides?
Yes. And so I'll probably have to get a little thicker. Yeah. To make sure it's not bleeding and all that.
Yeah. Definitely. Cool. Yeah. No, I just I did a book like that for designing characters where I pre-drew figures. And basically they're all printed in blue, and then it's basically for people that like to design characters but don't have the drawing ability. So it's just male. The first one is male figures, and they're just standing there, and it's like front and back view, and it's different body types throughout the book. So it's like, oh, I don't want a guy super muscular. Oh, this guy will work, whatever, and you draw right in the book and stuff. So.
That's right.
That's why I was curious about it. So that's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So
scroll through it and take people through the perks and stuff.
Okay. My bad. I forgot I was sharing. So let's scroll down a little bit of a blurb. Here's the cover. Batman and Wolverine are probably my two favorite heroes, so I had to go with them on the cover. But there's a little bit of a mock-up for you. Here's some stuff that'll be inside, kind of gauge. So this is the Shadow Sentry #1 cover, and then Shadow Sentry #2 that I did. A nice X-Men homage.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thundercats. So these will be, double page spreads. Got to make them big.
I'm an X-Men guy, so for Phoenix is my favorite character of all time, and I love all the X-Men. So you kind of piqued my interest right there.
Very cool. So this Captain America, I think, is the very first print I made. So this says 2012.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's when I drew that and colored it up. So so these two right here, Dr. Doom and Deadpool, these are both commissions.
Okay.
I don't know what show, but and then this Deadpool one was actually like a sketch cover that I did for a guy. And I actually did it in 2015. And it was kind of like my premonition, my prophecy of what was going to take place next year, 2016. So I think it came true.
Yeah.
And then some more Shadow Sentry, X-Men, dun. So the, kind of like the blue and gold team. So got those in there. Superman, Batman Beyond. Got to give him some love. And,
he's one guy I haven't drawn yet. I always like the costume though.
Yeah, he's cool. I really wish they would do that with the movies. I thought they were going to try it with Pattinson. I thought that would have been a cool spin, but oh well. So here are the covers. So the coloring book, inking book, and then some ideas of what'll be inside. And then I'll try and throw in some things that aren't in the actual art book into these books, so you kind of get a little more art.
Sure.
And so then the blue lines. If you don't know what that is. So who am I? There I am. That's me.
Oh, wait, that's the photo we use. So actually that photo is fine because we don't know under that hat if you have hair or not.
Okay. Yeah.
But do you is the question.
How old was that photo? That to me, since that was on your campaign, I'm like, that would be the most logical one to use.
Okay. That's probably from 2014. I remember I was on a flight. Again, I don't know which one, but traveling around the country doing the conventions. But yeah, that was on a flight, and that hat is so old. I don't even own that anymore. I don't think.
No, that's funny.
So I have, if you guys, if anybody wants a book and they want to kind of get more of a custom piece in it, I'll do remarks for only $50. Character of your choice. These are ones I did in the Shadow Sentry artist editions, so you kind of get
cool
idea of what I did there. Some other things on the campaign. These are all add-ons. So if you're familiar with Indiegogo, you put something in your cart, and then before you check out, it'll kind of have a drop-down menu, and you can add other things to your cart. But the Fan Art Friday book is one you could add.
Nice.
The Fan Art Friday was like something I did a while back on my YouTube channel, where the first person to comment with a character, I drew it, and then I sent them the artwork. They just paid shipping, and so I did that for probably 2 years or so. And so these are all the stuff I did in that. So that's a cool little book. It's that's smaller.
A good idea.
Yeah. So it's perfect bound. I offered that on the last campaign for the Shadow Sentry Origins that I did. Another one is the Art of Eric Ninaltowski. This is like one of the first sketchbooks I did, and this is black and white, 48 pages, perfect bound, and it's got well over 100 images of anything from sketches to I did like a little Batman, like kind of like Batman gets these cool gauntlets and they shoot out all manner of fun gadgets and stuff. So that's in there, and all that good stuff. So a few stretch goals, not much, but I'll add a ribbon if we get to 5,500, and then if we get to 65, I'll do more pages in the coloring book and the inking book.
Oh, nice.
Are you in your first 30 right now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just launched it. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
so
cool.
I will extend it, but this is where we're at right now.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to bring up the page for yours? Because you mentioned you have the sign up page for the next Shadow Sentry.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't know if I have that up. Give me 1 second. If you want to hide my screen, I'll.
Oh yeah. I can do that. No problem.
Thank you. I will. Let me see.
So, favorite character from Wildcats, since you like Wildcats the most.
Grifter. Grifter, baby.
Really?
Yeah.
I like oh my god. Dennis knows how bad I am with names. Warblade. Is it Warblade?
Yeah, Warblade.
Yeah, dude. That was mine.
He's rad.
Always liked Warblade. And then what's the oh god. It's not what's the all chrome chick?
Oh, Void.
Void, yeah. I like those two.
Yeah.
So
She was
Grifter,
cool.
I mean, I don't mind Grifter, but Grifter, he's like Punisher, and I've never been a big Punisher type guy. So
Yeah. I don't know what I think it was just like the, cool like guns and smoking the cigarette and just like I don't care.
yeah.
But
No, that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they were, in Zealot, she was cool too. Yeah, I think, for what it was, we got some cool characters. Spartan was awesome. The android, can't die kind of dude was rad.
Are you looking forward to Batman Hush 2 that comes out in a few weeks?
Yeah. Is Grifter going to be in that, or somebody's going to be in that, right?
Oh, I actually don't know. I saw, I think it was Bleeding Cool put out like 10 to 12 pages, I believe.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Of black and white preview art. And I mean, it's, I got to be honest, compared to a lot of the stuff DC puts out, I'll probably get it. I still like Jim's stuff. To me, peak Jim is X-Men.
Yeah.
But X-Men and then, the early Wildcat stuff. But looking at those preview pages, I was like, this stuff looks pretty cool. So I probably will pick it up. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And because it's kind of like seeing them do page work again is just kind of fun because they don't do it too often. So yeah.
No, I agree. I like seeing page work more than I do covers and stuff. I mean, I'm just like, yeah. Cool. So Shadow Century Book 3, you got the sign up page up. First day backers get a free metal trading card.
Oh, love that.
Yes.
Nice. And how many pages are these?
48.
Okay.
Or, but always open for extra.
Sure.
But yeah, this image right here, this is Alan Goldman. He did a connecting cover for me.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that super excited about that. That's beautiful. This is my cover. So for those of you who don't know what Shadow Century is all about, it's like an X-Men meets the Matrix superhero team book, but I infuse it with the supernatural kind of stuff, biblical, heaven and hell type things. So in this book, Jason, he's kind of like the kid who his mom and dad are both a hellborn and a highborn. So everybody's after him.
I'm going to try something real quick because the page for
now it popped up.
It's showing. Okay. It wasn't showing for some reason, but it is now. We just checked YouTube. So sorry about that. Go ahead.
No worries. So Jason gets possessed by this demon. And so now his name is Hellscape. So he's about to unleash his fury upon the Shadow Century. And it's going to be some fun. So check it out.
So what's your backstory on Shadow Century? How'd you come up with it? What was your inspiration and stuff for it? Like when you were like, I'm going to do crowdfund. Well, when did you, Shadow Century, I assume was your first dive into crowdfunding.
Yeah. Yep.
And what made you go, you know what? I'm dipping my toe in. I'm going into the deep end.
So I had some other ideas and, things I was playing with. One was like a single guy, like a solo book. But I wanted, I guess I was thinking long-term, if this is something I'm going to do for the next, 5-10 years, like, do I want just one dude or do I want like a whole team? And so, being in love with the X-Men, I was like, I want to go big. And, so, I mean, I took a lot of stuff that I had developed over the years, like even in high school, I mean, Brazen, Midst, who else? Galleon in the background with the sword held up. They were all characters I drew up in high school. And so it was just kind of a matter of getting all my favorite characters together and then putting them in this one world, one universe. And so I had to come up with, what's the concept of the universe. And it was, I wanted, after seeing The Matrix, this idea of like this dual world, there's what we see and then there's what we don't see. I love that idea. And then obviously the biblical aspect of it is like if you believe that, it's like that's our reality. There's the spiritual that we don't see, and there's the reality that we do see. So I wanted to play with that, and I thought, I could do so much with it. So you have the highborn, which are people who have near-death experiences that go to heaven and come back with supernatural powers, and then the reverse, the hellborn. And so it's just like, a cool sandbox to play in. You could do so much with it. And so that was just a matter of building the story. And, I thought, all right, well, let me start with this young kid who kind of has no clue what's going on. His mom drops him off as a baby, and she's a hellborn. His dad's a highborn. And so then he kind of grows up and never knowing who his parents are. And then all of a sudden he's just thrown in the mix of all this stuff going on. And so he's kind of learning with us, which, so that is it basically. And you get all these fun characters to play with and read about. So check it out.
Yeah, guys, go check that out. Go sign up for it. When do you plan on trying to launch that?
Probably not to the end of the year. Still working on some pages right now. And then, so definitely towards the end of the year. I'm kind of got like a side gig I'm working on right now, doing breakdowns for a guy for his book and all that good stuff. So, not too distant future.
Nice. Very cool. Well, lots of time. Go sign up and be a backer on day one to get that metal trading card. That's very cool, man.
Yeah. And then if anybody wants to catch up, if you just go to my website, ericninaltowskiart.com, you could find all the books that I have published already.
Very nice. Have you been able, I just came out last night, so probably not, but have you been able to watch Daredevil yet, or do you have any interest in the new Daredevil?
Have not seen it. Definitely want to see it. If they keep to the old, the Netflix show, I think I love the first show, second season.
You will enjoy it.
Yep.
We watched it. No spoilers, but it's just like the Netflix show.
Sweet. Awesome.
So
man. That's what you hope for.
They dropped the first 2 episodes last night, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Sweet.
So,
good to hear. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. You'll definitely dig it for sure. Have you seen Captain America: Brave New World?
I did. I took my boys to see it. I was kind of like, but I read some reviews that they said it wasn't too bad, so I gave it a shot. It was good, but it wasn't. It didn't have the pizzazz of the other movies. So it was just good.
How old are your boys?
14 and 11.
So were they both like, this was great?
No, they were kind of like they liked it, but they weren't like, I mean, if you're comparing like Captain America Civil War or right. It's like but they're kind of like me. The newer movies that are coming out, they're just not super excited for.
No.
Yep.
So yeah.
I mean, I like telling somebody on Facebook said it was just as good, if not better, than Winter Soldier, and I'm like, are you insane?
No way.
I mean, we know everybody has different opinions, and you can think whatever you want, but
yeah,
no.
Yeah,
no way.
Yeah, it's no. I mean, I've said it a lot. I always do. Winter Soldier is my favorite standalone, movie, but. And then when it comes to like the big, Avengers, everybody's in it. It's, it's Endgame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But standalone, I'm a huge Captain America guy, and Winter Soldier was just fantastic. So, I will say though, I have hopes for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, same. It looks good, and if they keep, because it's got that good play of characters, you have like the funny and you have the serious, and
I think it's like Guardians.
It's got that fun vibe to it, and that's something that they have lost how to do. I mean, Guardians really is about it. Ant-Man, the original one, I enjoyed because of that being a heist. It was different, and then they kind of went away from that. So Guardians, but Thunderbolts, I've got a little hope. I don't want to get excited about it, because I've been let down. So it's like a bad but blind date. You get excited, she's all talked up, and then you get there and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have bought popcorn.
That's right.
Yeah. What about the Fantastic Four? What do you think?
Very, that first teaser, I still hate the mustache. And I don't even hate, I don't hate the casting of them, but the mustache just kills me because it's like you guys are trying to do everything right. You've got a great nostalgia vibe with the 60s. You've got the Thing looking like the Thing should look.
Yeah.
But you can't have Pedro shave the freaking mustache. Come on.
Yeah.
I will say the stylistic choices they made, making it feel like the futuristic 60s, the Jetsons meets the Fantastic Four of old. I liked it. I liked it. I liked Herbie having the actual reel-to-reel tapes for eyes, basically, and some of the things. So I think it'll be cool if it's like a precursor. Look what happened all these decades ago. This is what it was. I think it'll be a fun standalone movie. And then I'm thinking they're going to say, and here we're into this universe, or here it's in the future. This happened, whatever. So I'll be curious. But at least Galactus looks like Galactus. It's not an amorphous cloud or a blob floating around. And hey, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Randy brings up about Ben Grimm's voice. I'll be honest, when I first saw it, it didn't really throw me for a loop or anything because I don't recall, I shouldn't say never watched it. I know I saw it, but I don't recall the 60s cartoon well enough. And I guess that's a lot of people I know are referring to his voice, and that was great. And I'm like, yeah, I don't remember it at all. And then, when Michael Chiklis played the Thing, I don't remember his voice being changed, really. I think if I remember right, it still sounded pretty much like Michael Chiklis.
Michael's got that natural gravitas voice, so he was perfect for it.
So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe with all, because it seems to be getting a lot of pushback, like they got to do something with the voice. So hopefully Marvel sees that and they just go into audio and just make a few adjustments. It's not like it's hard to do these days. So.
All you got to do is flip a little switch and
yeah. No, that's Darth Vader.
Add some marbles in there.
Exactly. So it's all good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm optimistic, but kind of like cautious. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, do you listen to Rob Liefeld's podcast at all?
I do. My part-time job I got is driving, so like that's all I got on like playing in my ear the whole time.
So have you listened to his most recent one?
No. Or which one is that? Remind me.
It's so he's got it down to dropping on Monday and Thursday now.
Okay.
So the one that came out Monday, and he's talking about he's basically talking about how the creative committee, everything went downhill when the creative committee was basically, I guess, let go. And he's reading from the history. I don't know the exact title of the book, but it's something like the history of the Marvel MCU. And it's a 2-book box set that came out a few years back. And it is kind of funny because Kevin Feige signed off on this book. He wrote an introduction to it and stuff, but in the book, it pretty much says where they split ways. And the Marvel Creative Committee, for those that don't know, was made up of, Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Millar, Joe Quesada, Dan Buckley, and I'm blanking on another guy. But the point is, those first movies, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, and so on, up until about 2015 or so, those guys, that committee had input to make sure stuff was on par with like what was being done in comics and stuff. Ike Perlmutter, that was the other guy that was part of it. I think he was the president of Marvel at the time. And then you can tell when they had that split, because that's when Miss Marvel got greenlit and the movie started going more woke with stuff. And you just look at this, was it it's either the last 5 or 6 movies have all just, really dropped off into the second week box office.
Really, it was after Endgame. I mean, the whole thing just went, we're going in a different direction. And you can see where, he took the reins completely, and wheels kind of fell off.
Mm-hmm. Is that the Foggy lost his fastball one? Or
No, that was the episode before.
Okay. So maybe I haven't heard that last one, but yeah.
It's good though. He explains a lot. I mean, Rob does such a great job of explaining stuff. Plus, he's got all the background information on stuff that he wants to let out.
Sure.
Right. Are you a sci-fi guy?
Sci-fi?
Yeah, you like sci-fi?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
All right. Favorite sci-fi show? Since we got you on here, we got to know a little bit of a background here.
Sci-fi show or like movie?
Or movie or series.
Okay.
What he really wants to say is, do you like Star Trek or Star Wars? That's what he's getting to.
Oh, okay.
Well, it doesn't have to be just those. It could be The Expanse. It could be Galactica. There's a lot of really good ones out there. Most people tend to gravitate towards the two. I like them all, so there is no wrong answer. However, curious what you like.
I was going to go with Terminator only because it's on my mind, because I just started watching Terminator Zero, the anime on Netflix last night. But I'd have to go with Star Wars. If you're going to put me in those two categories, I'm going to go with Star Wars.
Oh, see, I wouldn't put you in that. See, Space 1999, a classic one.
So you've got the Star Wars Death Destroyer or whatever. Is that what it's
Star
called?
Destroyer?
You got the Star Destroyer, the big triangle Star Destroyer, and it's going up against, it's like an Old West. It's going up against the Enterprise. Which one wins?
Man,
there is only one right answer, so we're at odds here. So you're fine.
I'd go with the Enterprise, only because I feel like it's more maneuverable, and the Star Destroyer is just like, I don't know, a triangle.
That is a great explanation.
That is a good answer.
That is, and partly accurate.
But Dennis will be glad to tell you, and I admit, when this was a meme, Billy Tucci posted it, and I'm neither here nor there. I take Star Wars and Star Trek at about the same level, of entertainment. They both work for me, but I don't know the logistics anywhere. I mean, this dude's a huge Trekkie, and my first thought was, oh my God, the Star Destroyer would just
it's
done.
Big. That's Andy's thought. It's big, better, big smash little.
Right.
That's Andy's thought.
And then, of course, Dennis laid down the science, and I'm like, all right, I guess that works.
No,
go ahead,
and we do have to say this is pseudo sci-fi science. So, we do have to lay that there. But the Enterprise would win in every case.
Why?
Are you accounting for all the miniature ships that the Star Destroyer is going to unleash as well? Because then it's like you got more than the TIE fighters and whatever.
So you do have the TIE fighters, and the phasers can be set up as point defense, so they can just plug them out like boom, 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 boom. Gotcha. But they each have shielding, but the Star Trek world in that universe, their shieldings can take an absolute pounding, whereas the shielding is almost nothing on a Star Destroyer. Star Destroyers' lasers they're fine for what they're used for, and they have a lot of them, but they're not nearly as powerful. And even Billy Tucci even put on, I was very proud of him for it, put a clip of Picard even saying, oh, those are lasers. Lasers can't even penetrate our shields. Correct, because it's a completely different multi-phasic shielding. So the photon torpedoes would go right through, blow up the bridge of the Star Destroyer, just take it down. It would go crashing like the Executioner. Yeah, it's all done. However, in a race, if it was along a straight, the Star Wars universe is faster than the Star Trek universe. Hyperspace is faster, but they can only go between lanes, whereas in Star Trek, they're slower, but they can travel anywhere they want to. So, hey, a little science out there for you guys.
Appreciate it. All right.
I mean, that was basically it. I had no comeback. He said the Enterprise can basically block lasers. Well, that's all Star Wars does is shoot freaking lasers. So if you can block any laser, well, goodbye, Star Wars.
Okay.
And see, Joe brings a point. Anarchy has shields. The Star Destroyer shields suck. Exactly. Transporter out the engine. That's the other thing. Yeah, they can transport. Oh, Darth Vader. Oh, that with your stuff, just transport them out in the middle of deep space. We're good.
Mhm.
What you piqued my interest. So there's a new Terminator cartoon anime on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think it's super new.
It's not new. It's been out for a while. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, when you say, but it's new as in it just came out like last year.
I saw it last year, I think.
Oh,
yeah. I remember I got a magazine from actually I probably have it sitting here from Comic-Con, and I saw this on there. It's like it's still in the bag, but it's like Terminator
hold
0.
on, I'm on a full screen. I want to see that. Oops.
Is it backwards?
No, that's
No,
fine.
we can see it.
We got it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so
Oh yeah, then a geek. Yeah, I remember.
You know,
Yeah.
one side's Alien, Romulus, and then you got the term. So yeah, so I saw that. I was like, oh sweet. And this was Comic-Con, last year. So I was like, let me check it out and see if it's on. And sure enough, it was. So I watched the first 2 episodes last night, and yeah, so yeah, I enjoy that world, and seeing some cool anime. Can't beat that.
All right,
So
I might have to check. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss on the Terminator stuff. I am getting the current comics that Dynamite's out, and it's all right. They're hit or miss for me. That I like the animation on it. I thought the story was okay. It's better than say Genesis.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, which one was Genesis?
Marcus says Andy looks like he's being tortured. No. He's constipated. There's a difference. There's a difference.
I am. After we're done, Dennis is going to give me a suppository to hopefully work that out. He's going to lift my legs like a baby and just right in.
Kirk would hit
See
on
what
with
happens
one of
when
those
you go there?
two-handed punches across the back. Fight over. Judo chop. I'm telling you. Yeah. Did you guys ever see William Shatner in the ring back in WWE?
William Shatner in the
No.
ring.
Yeah, he went in the ring, and the Prince, the Prince,
No.
he went toe to toe with him, and the guy started pushing him and stuff like that. And Shatner actually, after pushing each other, and the guy was like, "Holy crap, Shatner's going to get the kick out of him." He comes at Shatner. Shatner grabs him, puts the leg up, does the judo, what is it, Osotogari or one of the two, and actually flips him over onto the back, and the other wrestlers come in. It was awesome. I had never seen that one.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Shatner Shatner can do everything. He could still do it at 93.
That's crazy. So is San Diego a go-to every year because you're out there, I assume?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and if you're a professional, you have to apply for it, but they'll give you a badge for free.
Oh yeah.
And so if I'm not exhibiting, which I tried to last year, it was the first year I actually didn't get to exhibit.
Really?
but,
What happened? I thought once you got exhibitor space, it was really tough to lose it.
Well, I say exhibitor, but it was actually Artist Alley. So
okay.
Artist Alley is a lottery system. So this year I'll actually be in small press. So as long as I'm putting out stuff, it's probably a little more permanent. But again, small press, you gotta have something you've done every year. And then, if you're
small press, those aren't, nothing in San Diego Comic-Con's cheap, but I know what small press tables go for. So
yeah, they're still under 1,000. So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
Gosh.
And you don't have to worry about a hotel. So
Exactly. Yeah. But up until a few years ago, Artist Alley was free. They would give it to you for free. There's no charge.
Right.
Is it not anymore?
No. Now it's $300, which still, if you're comparing to other shows, it's not that bad, but
No.
But yeah, so it was free for a bit, and yeah.
Oh wow. Well, that's cool. Yeah, we're going to try. We're talking about going out. My wife, daughter, and I are trying to go out, thinking about it. So, because I get a pass, I get the professional badge every year.
Okay, cool.
And I sign my daughter up as my guest every year, just in case. The last time I went was 2019.
Okay.
And, I went for pretty much almost 20 years straight. And then, COVID. And then after that, I was just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But my daughter's never been, and she really wants to go. And it's been a while. So we're thinking about it. We're thinking.
Very cool. All right. Well, let me know if you make it, because we'll have to hook up.
Oh, yeah, dude. Definitely. Oh, no, I definitely will. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I take it you don't live in San Diego, the city itself. You live outside.
No. We're out where you can own chickens and cattle if you want.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yep.
So now you're saying you have chickens for eggs because, they're so expensive. Is that what I'm hearing?
I do have chickens. Yeah.
Do you really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Get ducks and I'll come out and visit. And Amanda, we usually have 4 new backers for an official DNA bump.
Yeah. We got one, though.
We got 2.
Oh, we got 2. Nice. 2 backers for you. Well, there you go. Look at that. That's cool.
Well, thank you, Amanda, and whoever else back.
Plus,
Thank you.
make sure you guys sign up for his sign-up page as well for the Shadow Century return in his book number 3, which is up waiting for you to put in your email address.
That's right. Go there and sign up for that. All right. So last but not least, are you a sports guy? And if so, what sport and what team?
All right. Well, I like all the sports. I used to be like hockey, football, basketball, just because growing up, my late stepfather, he was into all that. So, and I grew up playing baseball.
Oh, cool.
But now, I'm more of a football guy. So, and from being from Jersey, I kind of gravitated toward all the Philly teams. So I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan and could not be more happy for what transpired.
I just want to bounce you right now.
I wouldn't. I like the Eagles.
No,
this year.
So I'm a Dallas guy.
Okay.
You can, yeah, it's sad. Have been since Roger Staubach days in the 70s and Tony Dorsett, all those guys. But I used to hate the Eagles. I used to hate the Eagles and the Commanders. I still hate the Giants. The Commanders, I got to admit, I was pulling for them. I like the quarterback. So I will say I was pulling for the Commanders over the Eagles. But then when the Eagles got in, I was rooting for them because I can't stand the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I do like Jalen Hurts. So
yeah,
I
was
admit,
sweating. After the Commanders beat the Lions, I was like, oh man, like what? So that was a shock. So I was like, this team is like awesome. So I was expecting like a really tight game, and yeah, they blew them out, and then they blew out the Chiefs. Man, that was amazing.
Dude, 49ers, really? Are you? Oh, here we come again. You sound like a Cowboys fan. Stop munching on that Ganji stuff and just be realistic. 49ers are out.
49ers lost the great, receiver to the Commanders. So watch it there. No, seriously, I was obviously going into the Super Bowl rooting for the Eagles. I thought it would be a closer game.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, good Lord.
I thought those refs were all wrapped up, but no. Billy decided to pony up some money at the last minute, I guess.
You know what? A part of me thinks, it's probably not just me, that all the heat that the refs were getting throughout the year for the Chiefs, they went into that Super Bowl, and behind the scenes, they're like, sorry, guys, we can't have you win it.
Yeah, well, it's funny.
Bad as it is, if you win the Super Bowl, we're effed.
Right. The Eagles' first drive, they went for it on 4th down, and A.G. Brown caught the ball, and it was like a penalty. I was like, oh, here we go. And then like after that, it was like nothing, and it was just so great to see Mahomes just like almost in tears, and then Kelsey it was great. It was
Taylor Swift not understanding what's going on here. This isn't supposed to happen. All the Swifties were there, but I'm a cheesehead, so I'm a Packers fan, so I have no skin in this conversation whatsoever because I don't like any of those teams.
That's true. Have you heard that they're... So I listened to a podcast by this girl named Annie Agar, and she's really good, really knowledgeable about football.
She's awesome.
She's great. And one of her episodes was talking about them wanting to ban the tush push.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is just stupid because I'm like, who cares? They don't own it. They can't copyright it or trademark it. Right. If I was playing the Eagles and I was like 4th and inches or 4th and 1, I would just do the same damn thing against their defense.
Right.
I can't believe teams aren't doing it.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't understand the whining. Really, Admiral? You know what? I wore my Packers jersey right down in Chicago not too long ago. You know what? You still got the Super Bowl shuffle. Go 1985. Okay, enough said.
So sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can get better at it, just implement it yourself.
Right. That's what they should do.
Well, that's the thing too. Like after the first few games where, it got started and stuff, the tush pushed in. If you're playing them and it's 4th and inches or 4th and 1, the Eagles are going to pull that crap.
Yeah.
So one, in your practice, really practice against it that week going up against the Eagles. And two, if you're going up against the Eagles during your practice week, do it yourself.
Right.
Do it against
I don't understand all these rules banning everything. And I know this one was one of the few times the Packers stuck their nose in it. They should have just shut up about it. Look, no point in changing it. It doesn't hurt anybody. If you can't stop it, use it yourself. That is just the way it should. That's football. Let's go back to the 80s when football meant something and you could tackle people and crack a few bones.
Or even the 70s, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Now we're going before your time. But, there was a time where football wasn't as sissy as it is now.
Right. Well, you look at the size of the pads back then, like 70s, 80s, they were huge. And like now they've like shrunk, because like they were walloping each other, man.
Well, and like there's a lot to be said. Like, Tom Brady, obviously great quarterback. I mean, obviously goes without saying, 7 rings and all that. But I can't remember who it was that brought it up. But, you look at Joe Montana. Joe Montana doesn't have the same amount of rings, but Joe Montana played under totally different conditions and rules, and, there's no crystal ball. You can't see it. But, I mean, it'd be interesting to see these guys. I mean, Brady's out and retired now, but see like a Mahomes and stuff play under the rules and conditions from like the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Go back to those rules for a season and let's see these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That'll weed some out. And then go back to the 70s when on the sideline they'd sit down and drink a beer. Maybe that was the 60s.
Since you guys are asking, it's Annie Agar. We watch her on she's got her own podcast, but she's on Facebook. She's got reels. She does recaps of every week in the NFL, and she dresses up in everybody's jersey. And she's also dressed up as a ref. She's great. She's funny. She's super knowledgeable. Her brother's a huge she's a Packers fan. Her brother's a huge Lions fan. So they had a great fun season. She is worth going back to watch. She's a knockout.
Find one of her videos and let's do it. One of the shorts. No, seriously, look her up, because if you listen to stuff while you drive, she does one podcast a week.
Okay.
Usually has a guest on, and they're like, about an hour long. And I mean, she's really knowledgeable. Like I said, if you have video, she's definitely easy on the eyes, but she's funny too. She really has a good sense of humor and stuff.
Cool.
So
I will check that out.
What's this one? Yeah, we'll just do that one. All right, we're going to play one. Make sure your audio is shared too.
Yeah. I'll go ahead. Shared it automatically. Yeah. Well, I don't have it. You're going to probably, I can't do it on here, remember? Because I've got everything.
All right, I got it.
To be muted.
I got it. I'll find it. No problem.
She is funny. So, yeah, because we're in fantasy football and stuff. We do all the fantasy football stuff, and it's always a good time on the DNA show. We always talk a little bit of football and stuff. But yeah, she's rich. Nice. Oh, she's pretty. She is, and she is funny. And NFL people know her. She actually gets tickets to go to events and stuff.
Nice.
All right, hold on. I'm going to start this from the beginning so we don't miss it. Let me share the screen. Dude, this is where I first discovered her, with these weekly shorts you would do, basically a recap after the week's games. Let's see, right here. Share. All right, let's full screen this. All right, check this. Give us a thumbs up if you can hear it, so we know you can hear it.
Everyone on a great season, except for the Giants. I'd like to welcome in our Super Bowl 59 champions, the Philadelphia. Thank you, everyone. We are the best team in the world. Nothing can stop us. Spell Eagles. Moving on, I know you all have well-known Super Bowl traditions like the Bills and losing, but this year I wanted to try some. What? Philly fans are knocking down traffic lights. You might want to do something. Our fans never knocked down traffic lights the last time we won a Super Bowl. That's because it's hard to cause traffic with a horse and carriage. Wow, Philly is absolutely trashed. Imagine what Detroit would look like if they won. Well, it looks like we might never find out. Okay, you two, that is enough. A couple things to go over before we get into the game. Minnesota, while you're here. The Pro Bowl was last week. Sam Darnold looked very accurate in the target game. Targets were about 10 feet over everyone's head, so that makes sense. Bill Belichick also announced that he's releasing a new book this year. About all the success he had coaching? No, it's a children's book. Guys, this Super Bowl is exactly why we drafted Joe Alt and not a wide receiver. Didn't you lose to the Texans because you didn't have a wide receiver? Joe Alt got shut down by Bronny James on steroids. Get out. Okay, moving on. A couple celebrities were also at the game. Bradley Cooper showed up as well. He had a new movie come out this year called If. Unfortunately, that name is now taken, so the Bengals will have to come up with a new one for their documentary on Joe Burrow. Lastly, Kevin Costner from Yellowstone made an appearance. The Cowboys season finally ended at a Super Bowl. Can we talk about the commercials now? Was that all you watched? No. Okay, fine. We'll talk commercials. There were a couple weird ones this year. Mountain Dew turned seal into a seal, which would have been the weirdest transition, but Pat Mahomes turned into Pat Mac Jones. Some of the other top commercials were Tostinos, Doritos, and a lot of Uber Eats. Maybe the NFL is trying to sell us food. Yes, we were fed Uber Eats so much we almost got traded to the Lakers for a first-round pick. Quick question. We need a passing game coordinator. Is Shane Waldron any good? Yes. What about Press Taylor? Oh, yeah. Great. One more thing. He won't watch film. It's okay. We don't even know where our film room is, so that works out. Can you ask Ben Johnson? I don't think this third down play was supposed to go past the line of scrimmage. Can we please talk about the game now? We are moving on from Aaron Rodgers. That reminds me, New York, while you're here, you should check out New Orleans. If you go to the World War II Museum, you can see Aaron Rodgers highlights in there. Miles Garrett has requested a trade. What? Wait, really? Did he seriously? Debo Samuel has requested a trade. San Francisco. He's about 20 pounds overweight. He didn't pass his physical, and he doesn't hold on to the ball. He's perfect for the Lakers. Well, that's off-putting. He should be off-putting. Someone say Myles Garrett. We will take him. With what cap space? You do know he wanted to get traded because he wants to win, right? Look, everybody can calm down because we are not trading him. Cleveland, why? Why would you want a guy that doesn't even want to be there on game day? In our defense, none of our fans want to be there either. So, all right, we have to do it. Let's get into the game. I'm bringing Kansas City in here. Everybody be nice. I would tell you to block out the haters, but you can't block anything. Mahomes got so exposed on a big stage, you'd think he was married to Kanye. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. What are you, Batman now? Yes, that's Christian Bale, out by the refs. Kansas City, when we said all you have to do is stop Saquon and you'd win, we didn't mean that was the only thing you had to do. The Chiefs fell off so badly, Geronimo would shout Mahomes when he jumped. 126 million viewers watched the Super Bowl. We haven't screwed this publicly since Shannon Sharp went live on Instagram. The good news is now we don't have to wonder what Mahomes on the Bears would have looked like. That was the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen in a Super Bowl in my life, and Jimmy G in the fourth quarter exists. Will somebody get Travis Kelce in here? I have a question. What's with the hair? Travis Kelce had 4 receptions for 39 yards. The only thing that got into the 70s was his outfit. You look like you're wearing Blake Lively's wardrobe. It ends with us losing the Super Bowl. Will you just go back to the Pfizer commercials? There you can actually give your team a shot. I'd like to talk about the halftime show. Kendrick had a great year and still didn't perform well when it mattered most. Must be a Lamar thing. Maybe he would have performed better if he had 9 Pro Bowls. Kendrick also had SZA and Serena up on stage. 2 of Drake's exes made it to a Super Bowl before Dak Prescott. And lastly, congratulations to Cooper DeJean on his first ever interception, which was a pick 6. LeBron has also apologized for not dapping him up at the game, and they're very close now. LeBron said he's like the son he never had.
Get up. There you go.
Nice.
Definitely worth a follow on YouTube, and her podcast is once a week. So she does that every week after all the games, and just the time it takes to do that for that 3-minute video is insane.
Right.
And the writing and everything. So
her burns are great, and they're each and every week. So yeah, anyway, when football seasons kick back up, you guys keep an eye on her, check her out.
Yeah, she goes hard after Dallas. So
yep. For a reason.
That's okay. She can. You
can't. Still like
nearly as good as her. So well, I'll apologize next year for Dallas beating the Eagles twice. So
all right, man. Yeah, we'll see. Eagles got rid of their defensive coordinator, or their offensive coordinator is gone. I don't know about their defensive coordinator, but it sounds like everybody wants them. So that'll change things a bit. So we'll see.
You never know.
Yeah. Time will tell.
You can be like every Cowboys fan. Wait till next year.
That's right. You wait till next year. But what you won't have to wait for, this is my smooth transition, is Lilith, Infernal Conflict, a high fantasy epic, guys. This is the next project coming from your pals, Dennis and Andy, the world of Kordrath, this time focusing on Lilith, the ever so lovely succubus. She's going back home to the abyss where she's from, and there's some wars and battles going on. We're going to learn more about her and her backstory. Go sign up, front of the line shipping when you sign up and back the book. Hoping to launch it end of April, beginning of May. So go do that. Let's see. I believe, where's the stupid mouse? There it is. Oh, didn't want to do that. Want to do this. There is the homage cover. Of course, if it's Lilith, a succubus, you've got a homage. Vampirella #1. I'm going to start working on the actual main cover for the book here in the next week or so. And in regards to Kordrath, the books should be coming in about, let's see, a week and a half. The book should be here. And then we're going to get to doing some fulfillment for you guys. So thank you all for backing that. Go sign up for Lilith. Go back Eric's book and sign up for Shadow Century Volume 3. And hey, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. Hey, I totally forgot, but I wanted to show you guys the first, give you guys a view of the first. This is the first time I'm sharing it, but a new cover from Rob Willis for Shadow Century Book 3. Could I show it with you guys?
Yeah, let's see it. Rob's awesome.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. All right, here we go. Just got it colored and share it with you guys.
Who's doing your colors?
Carbon Graphics. He does all my colors for me. Yeah.
Oh, that looks hot.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw. So wait, is this literally the first time? Because I swear I saw a black and white to this, or am I wrong?
Or he posted the black and white. Yeah, and I posted, but sorry. So the color version, this is the first time I'm showing it.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Dude, that's awesome.
Got Hellscape in the back. This is Hopscotch and Commander Noble.
Oh man, that is freaking nice. So you're gonna have your cover, Rob's cover, and Alan's cover?
Correct. Two for Alan because he has the connecting covers, so they'll go together. So 4 total.
Oh, okay. Very cool, man.
Yeah, it's not showing again.
Oh, damn it. For some reason it's not showing again. Hold on, I'm gonna remove it and put it back up.
All right.
This is so weird. StreamYard is being all snaggle toothy because we can see it, but on refresh it, see what happens. Because he's got YouTube up on his laptop.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, that's weird that it's showing that. We're still a lot, huh?
Nope, there it is. Nope, it's not for some reason. Nope, still blank.
It's still blank. So for some reason, I'm going to try it one more time. All right, we'll try it one more time. Yeah, StreamYard. What do I pay so much money for StreamYard for?
Right.
Nope.
Damn it, not there. Well, unfortunately, we could not debut it.
Sorry to tease you guys.
Son of a bitch.
We thought you got to go awesome.
I know. Guys, it looks fantastic.
I'll post it on my Twitter.
Tweet it out.
I'll post it on Twitter. You guys go check it out. Sorry about that.
That is freaking StreamYard.
Yeah, something. Paul, how many Kordraths in the current saga? I'm concerned about sidetracking. You don't have to be concerned, Paul, about sidetracking because you will see that this in particular fits right in and it ties right in with the Kordraths that are going on. But it's always helpful to know some of the other stuff going on elsewhere because it all does tie in together. And then the following book, we will be back to the next one of Kordrath Volume 3.
Yep. That is what we're doing. So cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Tomorrow night, Dennis, what movie are we seeing?
We are seeing, it's something 17.
I know. What's his
Matthew 17.
No, it's not Matthew 17.
That sounds like a Bible verse.
I know. It's not. Oh my God! It's
the Pattinson.
It's Robert Pattinson.
Oh
Mickey
my God.
Pattinson, not Patterson. Pattinson.
That's what I said.
You said Patterson.
I think you.
Is it Mickey?
Problems.
What's that?
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17. Thank you. That is it. Yes.
So we're seeing Mickey 17 tomorrow. We'll drop our review first thing Friday morning. It'll drop. Next week will not be a DNA show because Dennis is beginning his first vacation, or taking his first vacation out of his numerous 300 vacations of the year. The first one kicks off next week, so he won't be here. So I might weasel my way into Graybeards next week with Aaron. And there you go. So good
I'll
times.
see you guys in a couple of weeks when I get back.
No, I'm Dennis, and I'm going on a cruise. No, because I live in an area where I have to get away from to go on a cruise.
That's right. I actually have to go out to where there's water. Going to New Orleans. Haven't been there since before Katrina. So it'll be great to see what Bourbon Street and stuff looks like. And then I'll come back all nice and tan.
Great. All I know is if I see a ship going down in the ocean, I'm going to have to find a new host, co-host.
Wow. Remember, his name has to start with the letter D in order to keep the name.
I can call anybody a dickhead. Not a problem. We're going to sign off. You stay in the back room. We'll chat after we're not live anymore. And we're not playing any outro. We're just going to end the stream. I think it takes about 7 seconds. I'm hitting end.